That's what life's about. Life is about going through those hard times. I always say I want to live to 100. But if I want to live to 100, you know how many people I'm going to have to see die? Think about it. Hello YouTube, this is Nathan back here with you, and this is Swimmer Sync. And I don't know how the lighting is. I think it should be all right because I have an iPhone 16, so the quality should be good. But welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. I'm going to jump right into it. Now, what I'm going to be speaking about today, you probably read in the title, but I just wanted to make this video to express my own feelings of what I've been going through, and maybe I could connect with somebody and just explain how it is growing up in the hood. The reason I'm making this video is to shed light maybe to people who haven't grown up in the hood, or people who grow up there and maybe they want to watch something that resonates with them. So this is the video for you. So like I said in the title, growing up in the hood is literally one of the hardest things that could ever happen in your life. Now, I'm not just saying that because, like, yeah, obviously it's hard growing up in the hood. Obviously it's hard growing up in the hood, right? Everybody knows that. But the obvious reasons are there's violence, guns, drugs, like all that basic stuff that is talked about. Obviously, all those things come with living in the hood, which makes it very hard on a person, right? Like, you know, those people who have lived in the hood and, you know, they did well for themselves. They became a teacher and things like that. But that'll, from what I've seen, it's probably like 1 out of 10 people who actually take that step and do that thing that they need to do. Most people get caught up in the street life, even if it was for a little bit of time or a big amount of time. Really, it doesn't matter. The reason I'm making this video is to shed light on the things that aren't really talked about too much, right? So obviously we know growing up in the hood is hard. You know, the reason you're in the hood is because your family doesn't have enough money to move out, because this is where you're stuck pretty much, right? But in the process of growing up in the hood, I don't know about growing up, like me, I'm so specific. I feel like I need to stop going back on what I said or repeating things, right? But yeah, I want to talk about the things that aren't really talked about too much. So me personally, growing up in the hood, I've seen a lot of loss. This is talked about a lot too, right? Like people losing people, but that really takes a big toll on one's mind and how you see the world and how you operate, right? So I'm gonna be honest, like I know Canada, that's where I am right now. I'm in Toronto, right? So it's not as bad as the USA, but it has its like, there's some things that are worse about Toronto that are better in the USA. Like, I've had a friend that moved here from Houston, Texas, and he said, yo, people here in Toronto are not friendly. And I started laughing. I said, yo, I know. And I was asking, like, how is it down in the States? Because my experience down there was that not in Houston, but I was in Michigan, and a random black person would just start talking to you, and like I was in a Foot Locker, and a guy beside me starts calling me brother and just talking to me like he knows me. And I never met this guy a day in my life. Remember, I came from Canada. I'm talking to this guy in the States. He's talking to me like he really knows me, right? And he told me the difference between here in Toronto and down in Houston. He's like, people are mean mugging all the time. Like, they're not trying to say hi. If you go up to them, like, they're automatically on the defense. People think Toronto's sweet. People think Canada's sweet just because it's Canada, but it's really not. So like I said, it has its you could compare Canada and the USA. Obviously, the states has like worse crime because I don't know. This could be argued, but they have like legal guns, and from what I've seen online, like YouTube videos and actually going down to the states, their hoods are like a big section, right? So the reason why um Canada's hoods and Toronto's hoods aren't as bad is because we'll have a hood that maybe spans 2 to 3 blocks, maybe 4 blocks, right? And then it's um surrounded by suburbs, right? So it's not like a whole section of the city that's a bad area, right? From what I've seen online, like about Chicago and other places, like they talk about south side of Chicago. So that's a whole section of the city that's just hood, like blocks and blocks and blocks. It's not the same in Toronto. We have a lot of hoods, but they're separated, and in between them is city, and surrounding the hoods are mostly houses, right? So it gives you a weird sense of envy growing up. You might have a friend, I'm gonna say white friend. You might have a white friend that lives in the suburbs. Maybe you play on a team with him. Maybe you go to school, right? You probably have a friend it's white, and you go to his house, and it's nice, and you're like, damn, I'm not used to this stuff. I wish I had it. So it brings a sense of envy, right? So that's also hard when you're growing up in the hood, is seeing friends that are more well off, and you're wishing you have what they have. What I had in my family is they gave me morals, right? Like you're not allowed to steal, especially from people's homes. You don't steal, right? Like I was always afraid of getting arrested. I never wanted to disappoint my grandparents or my mom, and I didn't want to end up like my dad, who was in and out of jail and eventually died to gun violence, right? So, excuse me. Growing up in the hood, you get a lot of envy just by seeing people around you who have a better life than you, right? So, the thing I really wanted to talk about today is the sense of loss, because um, over the years, I'd say since I turned like 20, 21, like 21, 22 is when things really started to hit me, because not only was I going through a hard time when I was 22 with my kids, but I'm seeing people around me go the wrong route, and like like not even just go the wrong route, but dying, suffering from mental health, like falling to all of these downtrodden circumstances, right? So not only do you grow up in the hood and have it hard because your parents don't have money, not only is it hard that you grow up in the hood and um you have bad influences around you, and there's nobody really to look up to, right? Like not only do you have all these negative things to worry about, you also have to see like people dropping out like every few months. Like me personally, I don't have a big list of people I know who have died, right? But for me, it started early in my life. My dad died when I was 5, right? So I was already used to death, and it's a weird thing because I don't always cry when it comes to death. Like only if it's really close. Like I found myself really strong in those circumstances, right? And there's this person. He was my aunt's friend. My aunt passed of an overdose in 2023. He told me this is like the first major death that I've experienced in my life, and he was like almost 40, like 30, 38, 39. And me, I experienced that at 5. So growing up in the hood, you get perspectives and you get experiences that people don't get until they're grown people. I'm grown meaning like 40, 35. You experience this as a kid, so how could your mind possibly process this thing that is not really supposed to happen to a child? Like things that a child aren't supposed to see, how is your mind supposed to process this? And I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I'm pretty sure that your mind would have a really hard time processing things like a father's death or seeing people around you with guns or even crackheads on the street, right? Because if your parents have money, you have a car. If you don't have money, you're gonna be on the public transit, seeing like crackheads on the bus. You're gonna be exposed to more things just growing up in the hood. And I really wanted to pull up this one picture, right? Because what really got me feeling this way lately is because I seen one of my best friends on the news. And I use best friend in a way like I don't see people often. I don't see people too often because I have 2 kids and a partner, and I live right close to my mom and my two brothers, right? So my life mostly consists of going to the gym, working on my business, taking care of my family. So I don't exactly have time to go see friends, spend time with friends. But so when I say best friend, it could be like, it could be someone who's just loyal to me, someone who I've known for a long while. It doesn't have to be someone I see every day, right? So one of my best friends, I seen him on the news for something bad. And I'm not gonna go too into detail because I don't even know what the whole thing is about. I only know what I read from the news, right? So I seen him like a week before he got arrested for this stuff, right? And one time my mom sends me something at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's probably like like about 2 weeks ago today. She sent me something at 1 in the morning, and it was pretty much my friend on, like, his face was on this article saying that 3 or 4 people have been arrested in connection with a home invasion murder. I don't know if I can say that word, but yeah, it said this news article. I'm gonna put it up there. I might not, but 4 people were arrested for this home invasion murder, and my friend's face is right on there, right? So it says in the article he wasn't involved in the M, but he might have been involved in other things regarding this incident, right? So seeing this on the news, not only does it bring like disappointment, obviously it's gonna bring disappointment, but like you suffer loss, like you grieve from these things. Like for example, I had another friend. He's probably gonna do life in prison. Someone who I used to chill with pretty often, and I did I did well with myself as a teenager, separating myself, being vigilant, seeing who's going the wrong way, who's going the right way. Why do these people have weirdos around them? I'm gonna just separate myself. I move better by myself. So this is my whole thing growing up. Like, I move better by myself. I'm not trying to be involved with certain people, because even when I was doing my street stuff, I wasn't really doing it as a group. That's why, like, sometimes when I see these people doing their thing on the street or in their music videos, they have their big entourage. I'm like, how could you even have an entourage like that? Like, you trust 10 guys? You, like, 10 people? Trust 10 people. That's crazy, because I can't have a circle more than like 4, 5 max, not including my brother, like 5 friends. I don't know how these people have entourages of like 15 people. So for one, I don't know how you're out here talking to like that many people to begin with and getting involved in bullshit, right? But that's besides the point. Yeah, making this video, I see my friend on the news, and the amount of disappointment I feel from it, and grief, and sadness, because he's smart. Like, he's not a dumb guy. He's able to work. He's able to do the things that like basic 9 to 5 people do. He like one time he gave me like a couple hats to wear, and he said he was gonna drop a brand, right? So it's this type of mindset that he has, but for some reason he's falling to like doing crimes, right? So like I said, growing up in the hood is hard. Not only do you grow up with no money, not only do you have to endure loss and see things you're not supposed to see, but it keeps taking a toll as like you get older, and it's just gonna keep going. That's why you need to stay strong. And I'm gonna put something up here, right? And just to show you how things change, okay? I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. I'm not gonna go on my phone right now, but this picture right here that I put up is from 2012. Look at the date. I think it says let me just pull out my phone to make sure what it says, okay? But I'm not gonna check the exact date. You'll see it, but May 2012, okay? And this picture is posted on Facebook, and the caption says just like Aden Dube, okay? And this guy Aden, who we tagged in the picture, he always used to wear his hat sideways, like how we're doing it. Like he'd come to school, hat sideways, not care. That was his style, right? And we took this picture, not mocking him, like he's our friend, right? So we took the picture, posted it, and we said just like Aden Dube, right? And Aden passed away 2019 or 2020. And I just like to say rest in peace. Rest in peace, because he was a great guy. He wasn't into gangs and things like that. But like I said, growing up in the hood is hard. No matter if you're a good kid, moderately bad, or bad kid, right? Like all three levels, you're gonna have people around you that maybe died, or maybe you become a victim just because you're from the hood, or because you have a brother or a friend. You might not even be involved, right? But things just fall on you because you're from the hood. Why is it like that? And I'm just making this video just to express myself. I can't give y'all tips. Like, I can give you some tips of how I feel, but this video is not about that. I don't want to put up the homicide. I don't want to put up the report, but it was on Friday, June 12th, 2020. And he was 21, and he was going to get married, I think, that same year or the year after, right? And he had his life on track. He wanted to become a lawyer. He was in school, but because he had some friends from the hood that he grew up in, he was wrong place, wrong time. People caught him, or caught the guy he was with, but also caught him, and he ended up passing away. The other guy didn't die, but he still got shot, right? But it's a very odd thing to feel. I need to find the words for it, but it's a very odd thing to feel when I'm looking at this picture from 2012, okay, 13 years ago, when things were so simple. I'll show you another picture from that day. We got slushies, but me and my friend, we post this picture with our hats sideways and put just like Aden Dube, okay? And then I think about this in 2025, whenever you see this, like, this is November 2025. I'm looking at this image, and I'm like, how's my friend involved in this M/home invasion? And then the other thing is, we have our hats sideways, and we tag Aden and say just like Aden. And the two people who, I'm not with two people in this photo, but I'm with one person, and the hat is like a second person I'm with, right? Like, how is it that I'm looking at this photo and the person I'm with is in jail and the person we're imitating is dead? Growing up in the hood is freaking hard. regardless of like your parents not having money, growing up poor, like that could be the least of your worries. But seeing loss and having friends used to be like very close to you, seeing them go off the rails, have like I could tell you like 3, 4 friends have like bad mental health issues, walk the streets, people talk nonsense, or like have been admitted to like mental hospital. Nothing against them. Like I went and seen my friend in the mental hospital to show him that I was there for him and comfort him in the best ability that I could, because I wanted to show him that you're still my friend. And he was saying, like I have these episodes and people neglect me now. People who I thought I was cool with, they neglect me now. They look at me like I'm crazy. And I said, you know what? Like you're always good with me, regardless of what you're going through. You're good with me, and being that solid rock, like you have to try to be that all the time. Like be vulnerable. Right now, I'm being vulnerable. Like speaking about this stuff, almost brings me to tears, right? And maybe I'll cry about it later, but not during this video. Okay, so you gotta be a rock, but you gotta be a rock in the hard times, medium times, soft times. You have to be solid, and you have to stand on values. You have to stand on your principles. Stand on what you believe in, because if you do that, there's no way you're gonna stray away from the straight path. There's gonna be hard days. Everybody has hard days. You just you have to have a solid regimen that you go by, or it doesn't have to be super solid. Like I don't even have one yet. I'm just talking. In a perfect world, you have a set system and set amount of beliefs, like, and you go about your life. But that's not the perfect world. Like there is no perfect world, right? So, there's gonna be hard times, but growing up in the hood, it makes your life 100 times harder than a regular person. I don't want to say 100, 10 times, 15, whatever. Makes it way harder than a regular person, regardless if you have money or not. Because you could have money, your parents could have money, and you still live in the hood, but you're getting consequences of living in the hood just because like you're seeing people go down the wrong path. Your parents might have money and you go down the wrong path. It's just a very hard thing. Like I have a friend. He used to stay at my house on the weekends. He stayed at my house one time like 4 days straight, and I should have told him to take a shower, because he didn't take a shower. Kind of smelled a little bit bad on my couch. Smelled a little bit musty. Should have told him, but when you're young, you don't have that like to tell people, like, So he was making music or whatever, like, started selling drugs, and he's addicted to drugs now. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I could count on like 2 hands, maybe even 3 hands, the amount of people who I've seen go down the wrong path, lose their life to jail, lose their life, just lose their life. Like I could count, and it's hard to go through my days, and I think about this stuff every single day. It's hard to stay solid. I have a family. I have 2 kids, a partner. I got my mom, got my grandparents, and my brother. Like I have to be grateful for what I do have, right? And I think that's what life's about. Life is about going through those hard times. I always say I want to live to 100. But if I want to live to 100, you know how many people I'm going to have to see die? Think about it. So, I may add to this video. I may not. Just wanted to say, like, if you're living in the hood right now, if you're growing up, if you're a teenager, if you don't know how to feel about certain things you see or feel, that's okay. Just try to express yourself. I'd say, like, try to express yourself on paper. Like, write down how you're feeling. Sometimes when you write down how you're feeling, the emotions go away. Like, the emotions literally go on the paper. looking at the camera, 100%. If you're going through something and you write it down, your emotions go from your head to your paper. You'll feel relieved. So to any of the young kids watching this, if you're going through stuff, might not even have to be a young kid. You could be 25, you could be 30, and you might not know. But you got to write things down and just keep striving to who you want to be. And you have to have a sense of coldness too, because you have to look at some of these people, like, I'm saying, like, the strongest people are, like, the coldest, because they could look at the same things that I'm saying, like, yo, like, these people are dropping from this and that. Like, some people would be like, yo, I don't give a shit unless it's, like, helping my pockets or helping my family. Like, I could care less about that stuff now. I'm trying to get, I don't even want to say I want to get like that, because, sometimes I take pride in my empathy, right? Because some people don't like to help others, right? So that's my characteristics, and that's what I got from my mother, is to help people. So when I see these things, it hurts me deep. It hurts me deep. I can't just say, yo, F them, whatever. I can't forget about old times. Can't forget about the times you're sitting on the bench, taking that picture, referring to Aiden. Like, I can't forget about these times. And it lives on inside of me, and seeing people pass, seeing people go to jail and all that stuff, like, I just have questions. I have so many questions that are unanswered. I have to keep my head up and go through life, try to not think about things too much, and use all that pain into motivation. Use that pain into motivation. Don't let it stop you. As I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself. I hope this video reached home. I think I'm gonna cut it off there, because I don't want it to get too mushy. I don't want to talk for so long, but it's just how I feel. Growing up in the hood is like 10 times harder than growing up anywhere else. And if you've grown up there, you already know how it is. I don't have to explain it, but I feel like I want to shed light on the people who are actually trying to do well. The people who are trying to do well, I feel like they have it the hardest. You know why? Because they're not involved in that stuff. If I was involved in that street life, and if I was doing, not even get into detail, like, just hypothetically, if I was stealing with people, if I was selling drugs with people, if I was doing these things with people, maybe I'd feel less sympathy for it. Maybe I'd be like, hey, like, you live that life, that's what happens. But since I'm the person who is trying to follow the straight path, I have it harder, because I have to see these guys from an outside perspective. I decided to take the other route and not be with them and do my own thing, try to attack life on my own terms. And whoever is watching this, if you're taking the straight path, you have it harder than anybody else who's taking the street path, whatever path they're taking. You have it harder, because you're going against the grain. I'm gonna end it there, because I feel like that's a strong note to end on, and that's a good message for myself. I feel like I made this whole video just for that to come out. Always express yourself. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Thank you for coming to the page. If this is your first time, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. And I'm going to keep coming with the videos. I want to become more consistent. In the new year 2026, I got to blow. I got to make money off this online stuff. So I'm going to become with more content, more things for you guys to use in your day-to-day life. And just grow with me, right? So this is Swimmer Sink. I'm Nathan. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like notification, and I'm going to see you back.